Hello, friends. I apologize that it's been so long, and maybe you saw the last video and it said that I caught a cold. Well, if you can't tell, my voice has changed, and I still have my cold. So I'm still gonna try to do story time, but it might be a struggle. So just bear with me. The good thing is that through video I can't get you sick. Today, actually, we're going to have a very special guest. It's my husband, and he's going to read a story that is very special to me. I read it, and I thought that it would be very fitting for what Canada and even a little bit of the US is experiencing as far as Indigenous rights and sticking up for what has happened to them as far as the residential schools. And on September 30th, we had Truth and Reconciliation Day, which was just the ability for the Indigenous to share their stories and be welcomed, and for us to take a step forward to make sure we're doing our part to help them be heard and to listen to their stories and to not hide what has happened anymore. So, without further ado, here's my husband.
Hello, I'm storyteller Tammany's husband, and she's asked me to read you Stolen Words by Melanie, Florence, and illustrated by Gabrielle Grimard. She came home from school today, skipping and dancing, humming a song under her breath, clutching a dream catcher she had made from odds and ends, bits of string, plastic beads, and brightly colored feathers. Her glossy braids danced against her shoulders, swaying with her, black as a raven's wing. "Grandpa," she asked, clutching his hand, spinning under his arm before dropping it again, "how do you say grandfather in Cree?" He stopped breathing for a moment, a lifetime to a 7-year-old. He looked down at her sadly. "I don't remember," he answered. "I lost my words a long time ago." A frown clouded her face. "How do you lose words, Grandpa?" she asked. "They took them away," he answered. She thought for a moment. "Where did they take them?" she asked. "Where they took all of us," he said. "Away from home, away from laughter and soft words, away from our mothers who cried for us." She reached for his gnarled hand. "Who took you away, Grandpa?" she asked quietly. "Men and women dressed in black, talking to us with words we did not know," he answered. They reached home and sat on the stairs together. "Where did they take you, Grandpa?" she asked. "Away to a school that was cold and lonely, where angry white faces raised their voices and their hands when we used our words," he answered. "They took our words away and locked them away, punished us until we forgot them, until we sounded like them." Harsh, sharp words, so different from the sound of our beautiful ones. She touched his weathered face, tried to wipe the sadness away with her soft hands. She looked down at her lap and handed him the dream catcher that she had made for her room. "You take this, Grandpa," she said. "Maybe it will help you find your words again." He smiled at her, his granddaughter, and touched her innocent face, a face that had never known hard words or raised hands. He smiled and kissed her head. The next day she skipped out of school again, smiling wildly at her grandfather. She stopped in front of him and took a deep breath. "Danse, Nimosom," she said. His eyes widened. She smiled brighter than the sun. "I found your words, Grandpa," she said. She pulled a tattered, well-worn paperback out of her book bag. Introduction to Cree, it said. My teacher helped me find this for you at the library. He reached for it, his hand shaking, opened it, feeling the soft, much-loved pages under his fingers. Nosisem, he whispered. Granddaughter. The word felt familiar in his mouth. It felt like his home. His mother. He turned the pages of the book carefully. Masanakan. Book. He turned another. Word after word. Pikisquewana. His words. Pages and pages of them. He looked at his granddaughter, his Nosisem. Thank you, Danage, he said. Will you read to me? She asked, taking his hand in hers and leading him home. Will you teach me your words? His heart danced as he nodded, holding the book against his chest. The end.
Wow, wasn't that a beautiful story, my friends? Isn't it just terrible what happened to the indigenous people? I hope that you learned something today, and that through this, you can take a step forward to help the indigenous in any way that we feel that we can, or they need us to, just by being a friend even. I look forward to this so much. Bye-bye.